Hey, how's it going, everyone? Just going to show you some exercises I do at this local parkour near my apartment in my city. Got some exercises I'm doing here. I'll show you the run through that I do, and you can kind of see the stuff I do. I'm doing a lot more body weight stuff, and also my shirt's off so you can see my physique a little bit. And you see that I've leaned up a lot doing this juice feast solid food vacation. So now that the summer's starting, it feels really great to be out here, kind of with my shirt off, let my skin breathe, and moving my body, moving the lymph, really getting a good workout.
All right, before I get into the exercises, I just wanted to show uh, my physique in a more well lit, sunny shot here so you can see that. Here I am doing one legged squats, like 6 or 7 on each leg. This workout is a full body workout, so I do like thighs and front leg, 3 exercises on that, then kind of a push, chest, arms, 3 exercises, then rear leg, hamstrings or so, 3 exercises, and then pull, which is like pull ups and wide grip pull ups. So I'll walk you through all those things. But here I am doing the one-legged squats, which are kind of meant to replicate the squats that I can't do because all the gyms are closed. I found on this juice feast that I'm really able to keep all my muscle, and you can see that in this video. Here I am after doing 6 or 7 of the jump squats. I move into like 60 seconds on this sort of makeshift leg press machine, and I'm barely pushing any weight. But no matter what movement you do after 60 seconds, there's a burnout and a fatigue that sets in. So I'm trying to get the fatigue by going for time rather than weight because I really can't go for weight right now. But on this juice feast, I really find that I'm able to keep all my muscle with the juices, and I know that once the juice feast is over and I begin intermittent fasting again, rather than drinking the juices every 30 to 45 minutes or so, my growth hormone will spike up again. I'll probably gain weight. I've been steadily losing a bit of weight on this. I'm on day 48 here. And when I do gain weight, that muscle, I'll gain even more muscle. It's probably a bit hard to gain muscle, but I'm definitely keeping it all and maintaining it. And then this exercise, I'm doing jump squats that are without pause. You can see doing about a minute for the 3 exercises without a break in between, or maybe with a minor break as I kind of reposition myself. So doing jump squats here, you can see I don't jump that well. I'm not getting that much air, but my legs are pretty fatigued at this point. So it's kind of the best you can do for leg workouts while the gym is closed. So now I'm moving into the push or chest portion of this. I'm doing 8 one-armed push-ups per arm to start off here. When my gym's closed, I found that was another thing that led me to just going for the solid food vacation and the juice feast. I find that, um, you know, the the body weight workouts lend themselves to juicing or juice feasting more because when you lean down a little bit, you gain like a freedom of movement and your body is a little bit more light. And with it's harder to do juice feasting and still working out with like lifting weights. It's a bit detrimental to kind of typical bodybuilding weightlifting when you're just doing juice feasting. But with body weight movements, I find that those things kind of go together a little bit. And then after that, the one arm push ups, uh, I do this sort of chest press machine for about a minute, and again, not pushing that much weight, but just going for a minute. You find that there's some burn in there, so I'm doing a minute of that here, trying to kind of burn out my chest. This park is a favorite of mine because they have a lot of equipment and there's also not too many people there usually. It's probably my favorite one to go to because it's It's really pretty, and there's just a lot of greenery around. It's pretty nice. After I did this exercise, a another guy who was working out here, and here I am doing some parallel bar dips, and this was another exercise. This is an exercise where I would like typically if I was in the gym, I would put on like or I would strap like 25, 35, or 45 pounds to my chest while I do these, but you can't really do that in the park. But anyway, between the chest press and the dips, a guy came up to me and he was wanting to know about what my workout was, and he was working out there too, but he was wondering if I could like train him or help him out. And this guy was smart and in decent shape, but he wasn't as lean as he liked. And I ended up talking to him about juicing for like 5 or 10 minutes between those exercises, which was totally fine. And it was the first time I'd ever talked to someone who I hadn't met before about the juicing, and surprised I opened up to him a lot, and he was super receptive. He says he wanted to start right away. His sister had bought a juicer like that Monday and started doing it, although I'm not sure if she was like juice feasting or what. But he wanted, he took my email, and I gave him some John Rose links, and I told him to follow my YouTube channel, and I sent him some recipes after that, which was really awesome. So I'm pretty excited, and I hope he's watching this video. So then I moved into the kind of hamstring portion of the workout. I was doing some leg extensions. Now I'm doing leg curls. Leg extensions aren't for hamstring, but I just saw that machine and started doing it. So just kind of a lot of these body weight workouts, you just kind of do stuff until you get exhausted, which is fine. Even if it's not like an ideal gym session, I think it's all fine if you just get in there and kind of burn out. But yeah, it was really nice to meet that gentleman who wanted to do some juicing, and that was a really cool experience, and it kind of really gave me a second wind in the exercise. Here I'm doing some after the leg curls, doing some sort of squats, like 60-second, or not squats, rather lunges, 60 seconds of lunges, which then after this you'll see I go into like 60 seconds of lunge jumps, and that's kind of a hard portion of the workout. You really grind it out. But these workouts are full body workouts, and I've only been doing full body with these workouts just because I'm biking 20, sometimes 30 minutes away from my apartment to get to these parks, and it's I'm doing that 3 times a week or so to stay in shape, to make sure I maintain my muscle while I'm on the juice feast. And it's I just want to make sure I'm working out everything I can, kind of moving all my muscles. I think these kinds of exercises that I'm doing here are probably really good for moving the lymph, jumping up and down, things like that. One thing I'm noticing in making these videos and editing them and watching them is that my posture is bad, and I need to work on that. So it's hard to do that with these exercises, but you can. It's something I should work on, and maybe after the juice feast or even during the juice feast, just kind of focus on that. Focus on those rear back muscles, which I try to work on. After this exercise, I'll move into wide grip pull-ups, which you'll see, I think, shortly. These exercises that I'm doing now, these jump squats, are hard. I do it for about a minute, maybe not quite, but you really have to grind to get through these. I mean, pretty much feeling it at this point. I do in here about 12 or 13 wide grip pull-ups, and again, if I were in the gym, I would be adding 30, 40, sometimes 50, 60 pounds around my waist and doing these pull-ups, and that's actually not as hard as you'd think. Your back muscles are really big, and you're the biggest muscle in your upper body, and you can really add weight when you do those. Then I move to after a brief pause, like a couple sets of like 4 or 5 bicep grip pull-ups. And then it looks like I'm going back to the wide grip here. trying to do a minimum rest in between them. But at this point, I'm getting pretty exhausted. This is actually the second round of all these exercises. I did a round first, and then I filmed the second round. Now I'm doing like sort of just a horizontal pull up here, not quite as hard. Trying to go for a minute, although normally I can only go for like 30 or 40 seconds before I kind of burn out and get tired. And I also switch the grips midway through to focus on back and then biceps as well. Just kind of doing this makeshift with the park equipment that they have here. There's a nice bike path that runs through this little park course, and I bike to get to this area. I'm kind of closing in on the end of this workout. I think in these shots here, posing, you can see my physique pretty well in this light, so I'm kind of just doing some flexing here. And then coming up, I'm going to show a photo of me before I discovered juicing. And it's also before I discovered intermittent fasting or veganism or anything. Here I am here. This is a while ago, many years ago, but this is about representative of my physique before I was doing juicing or intermittent fasting. I did intermittent fasting for a couple years before the juicing, and I think in the final year or two of that I was vegan, then just moved into juicing and doing mainly raw a year or so before I did the solid food vacation. It's funny because in the photo here, I'm was really in fantastic aerobic shape, and my running times were, I would run 5Ks, 10Ks, and my 5K times were like under 19 minutes. I was running 6-minute miles, but I wasn't losing weight or fat like I wanted. And juicing, it's really interesting. If you want to lose fat and lean up, juicing, it just makes the dead stuff just fall right off your body, or all the kind of dead material, the fat, just shed right off your body. You just poop it right out. I'm getting as many calories as before, so I'm not losing any muscle. It's really the best way to lose fat, in my opinion. I think counting calories and creating a calorie deficit can work too, and intermittent fasting can help with that, but you get hungry and agitated doing that. It's hard to get to sleep, and it kind of messes with your hormones. I've noticed now even my face is a lot more chiseled now that I've been doing the juicing, which has been interesting as well. So in this final shot, I'm doing some more posing, you can see, and I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon here.